Hello everyone and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And today I'm reviewing the second of the Marutai restaurant collaboration products in my queue. This is Marutai Ikkosha Tonkotsu Ramen. Before we get started, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my reviews. Now this one is just like the last review, a tonkotsu, that is pork-based soup, that Marutai made under the supervision of a famous restaurant. Ikkosha is a ramen shop in Hakata, and those of you who live in California may be aware that there are also 3 American locations in Los Angeles, Torrance, and Costa Mesa, which is very cool. This particular recipe that Marutai developed with Ikkosha promises a condensed version of a classic tonkotsu that is supposed to highlight what translates to the natural flavor and sweetness of pork bones, which sounds really interesting to me. After all the different varieties of tonkotsu I've had from Marutai, I've often wondered how much more innovation there can possibly be with the same basic recipe, and yet that light tonkotsu from Seiyuken in the last video was still just as unique as all the other flavors. So here's hoping this is another special one. Like the other Marutai products I've reviewed, yamibuy.com makes it easy to purchase this outside of Japan. I paid $5 for this, and like the other Marutai restaurant collaborations, that is unfortunately the price for a single serving, not 2 servings like the other Marutai packs. So if you live outside of Japan and have an Asian market nearby that carries Marutai products, like I have 2, but neither stocks this one, if you have that, you might get lucky and find this, but otherwise you're going to want to look for it online. Time for our sodium check, and then we'll talk about the ingredients. 2,520 milligrams of sodium in this, which is 110% of your daily allowance. I always stress this, but don't drink this broth if you want the decadence of Marutai without all of the sodium. I wouldn't blame you for drinking the broth, it's always delicious, but your kidneys will thank me if you don't. Let's open up. So inside we've got some thinner Hakata style noodles, which are probably the same ones we saw back in the Hakata Tonkotsu review I did last year, which is the white packaged one. If so, these are excellent. The main characteristics of Hakata style ramen noodles are that they are super thin and have a light floury texture to them, which these do. Honestly, even if these aren't the same ones from the Hakata Tonkotsu local series review, I'm pretty positive they're going to be excellent. I've never found a Marutai noodle that wasn't a 10 out of 10. We've also got a liquid broth and a flake sachet. Now the broth is more or less what you expect from a tonkotsu: pork fat, soy sauce, garlic, and some gelatin. But what's interesting is that most of Marutai's other tonkotsu flavors also use chicken and fish extract for enhanced umami in the broth. Not here. They weren't kidding when they said they wanted to highlight the pork, because there is no other meat extract in here. This is pork only. And then in the flake pack, we've also got some scallions and one of my favorite ramen toppings, wood ear mushrooms. Fantastic. Let's get this cooked. All right, and here we go. Now, yes, we are using the water that the noodles were boiled in. That's what the instructions say to do. You will notice that because of the nature of these Hakata style noodles, this water looks a lot starchier than maybe some other noodles that you've seen. And if that turns you off, of course you are free to use a pot of clean boiled water to add to these noodles once you've drained them, but I'm following what the instructions say to do. And, you know, I have to assume that the recipe is formulated with this level of starchy water in mind. Okay? The reason I bring this up is because 2 days ago I had someone comment on one of my videos to tell me that I've been doing ramen noodles wrong my entire life, and that his cousin told him that the white starch in this water is a dangerous chemical that you're supposed to rinse off. Okay, sure. Yep. I guess your cousin's never heard of emulsification before? Yeah. Anyway, we always follow the instructions on this channel. This is what I'm using. It's totally cool if you don't want to. Here we go with the broth packet. That smells very good. Extremely porky and garlicky. Once again, very close to what Ichiran instant ramen smells like when its broth comes out of the pouch. Okay, check it out. Nice amount of added fat in here, even fattier than the last one. So let's get this all stirred up. You know, emulsified. All right, and there we go. Pretty easy to dissolve these liquid packs, and the result is this beautiful, dark, rich tonkotsu broth that smells absolutely amazing. Let's get the dried pack in here and get this reviewed. Once again, very fresh smelling packet of green onions. We've got the added woodier mushrooms in here, which look like they're small enough that they're going to rehydrate pretty much immediately. Let's get this all stirred together. Okay, just like in the last video, these onions have added a really strong, fresh aroma of scallion to what was already an incredible smelling broth. And quite a bit of them, quite a bit of mushrooms in here. If you've never seen woodier mushrooms, they're the ones that look like little strips like this. Very mild mushroom flavor, but they're usually a really nice crunch in ramen. All right, time to dig in. Oh my. All right, let's get the noodle and spiciness scores out of the way first because, yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about here. The Hakata noodles are wonderful, very pleasant texture, nice and thin. There's a reason that these work so well with tonkotsu broth, and it's that they complement the texture and flavor of the broth extremely well. They cling to the broth perfectly. You get a nice flavor in every bite. Yes, I took more than one bite, but I'm probably going to edit it down to just one. All that to say is no surprises here. 10 out of 10 for the noodles. Excellent quality. As far as spiciness is concerned, this is a completely mild tonkotsu. There's nothing to worry about with spice. 0 out of 10 on the spiciness scale. And so let's talk about the overall flavor of this, and let me talk about my expectations going in, which kind of ties back to my expectations from the last video. In the last video, I said I wasn't prepared to give that one a perfect score because I balked at the price point for what was otherwise a very simplistic bowl of tonkotsu. I kind of had the same prejudice going into this pack of ramen as I did with the last one. Like, is this really going to knock my socks off at a $5 price point when there are already so many amazing Marutai varieties available for half that price point per serving? Yes, this has knocked my socks off. My socks are across the room right now. This is incredibly good. This is one of the best, if not the best, instant tonkotsu ramen flavors I have ever reviewed. 130 odd episodes in, this is probably the best one, if not close to it. Let me talk about the consistency of the broth first. Hopefully you can see right here, it's got an incredible thickness, a lot of fantastic oiliness going on at the surface from all of that fat. Pardon me, I'm going to eat this. Oh, but the flavor is also just as impressive as the consistency. The pork flavor is deep, powerful, just shy of gamey, like that perfect sweet spot of where you want a pork-flavored broth to be. It's got a terrific punch of both soy sauce and garlic. I love garlic in a tonkotsu broth. This is about the perfect level for me. The only thing I will say about the flavor is I know the Marutai website promised that this would bring out the natural sweetness of pork bone, and I'm not really getting any sweetness here, which is probably for the best. I don't think this needs to be any sweeter than it is. I think this is perfect on its own. The flake packet is abundant. It adds a terrific depth of onion flavor. The mushrooms, they don't taste like so much, but they're here more for the crunch than the flavor, like I was talking about earlier. And I don't really see wood-eared mushrooms in packs of ramen as much as I might like, so I'm very happy about their inclusion here. Other than the fact that this is anywhere from $5 to $6 for a single serving, I can't complain about anything. This is quite possibly the most perfect bowl of tonkotsu I've ever reviewed, and it should come as no surprise to anybody who's stuck through my rambling this long that I'm going to give this a perfect score of 10 out of 10. I'm at the point with Marutai where I can't imagine something coming out of their factories that is not a perfect score at this point. What an incredible bowl of noodles. Well, that was awesome. If I'm choosing between one of these restaurant tonkotsu flavors, I think the edge goes to this one so far. The Seiyuken one from the last video was no slouch. It was a nice balance of pork and chicken flavor. This is pure pork goodness, and if you love tonkotsu like I do, you are going to be extremely happy with this. But if you're not willing to shell out $5 to $6 for this, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the other Marutai tonkotsu varieties, really. This one is just a bit more expensive because of the premium nature of it, and if you're really looking to treat yourself, it's worth every penny. Now, there is a third restaurant collaboration tonkotsu out there from Marutai with a restaurant named Ganso Nagahamaya. I hope I said that right. Which is unfortunately not something I've been able to find for purchase just yet. So if anybody knows where to get that, and I haven't reviewed it yet, please leave me a comment and let me know. So hopefully someday I can find that one and give it a review for all of you as well. Now, I do have another Marutai restaurant flavor coming up in the next video, but it is surprisingly not tonkotsu. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, please keep watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next Noodle Journey.